Good morning, children.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning. I am your teacher this morning. I am Teacher Gudel A. Provido. Are you excited to listen our new story?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know the story entitled The Tale of Peter Rabbit? Have you heard that one? Okay, this time I want to share a story entitled The Tale of Peter Rabbit by Beatrice Potter. Okay, let's start. Once upon a time, there were 4 little rabbits, and their names were Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and Peter.
Why do you know every single of their cousins' name?
Because I read it. So you have to listen, then and I ask you later. They live with a mother in a sand bank underneath the root of a very big fir tree. Where do they live? In a big tree. Very good.
Where they made their house.
Oh. Now, my dear, said old Mrs. Rabbit, one morning you may go into the fields or down the lane, but don't go into the Mrs. McGregor's garden. Oh, where do they don't have to go? In the
Mr. Rogers' garden.
very good, in Mr. McGregor's garden.
Yeah, but they actually go there to get the carrots.
Your father had an accident there. He was put in a pie by Mrs. McGregor, so the wife of this old man.
Wow.
Just see the picture.
Wait,
Then now, run along and don't get into mischief. I am going out. So, their mother is going out. Then old Mrs. Rabbit took a basket and her umbrella and went through the wood to the baker's. She bought a loaf of brown bread and 5 currant buns. Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, who were good little bunnies, went down the lane to gather blackberries. So they like to eat blackberries.
Yeah, because they're rabbits.
But then Peter, who was very naughty, ran straight away to Mr. McGregor's garden. He was so very
Happy.
naughty. So, hardly dead. And squished under the gate. So, they're trying to fit himself under the gate.
And teacher, he was shot, and we watched the movie where 4 of them tried to go inside the thing and then tried to attack the guy.
Attack the guy. Then first, he eats some lettuce and some French beans, and then he eats some radish. So, Peter was so hungry. And then, feeling rather sick, he went look for some parsley. So, Peter was not contented, so he find another food. But round the end of the cucumber frame, whom should be meet but Mr. McGregor. So, he was seen by Mr. McGregor.
But he died when he saw the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and all the animals stopped interrupting the teacher.
Okay. McGregor was on his hands and knees planting out young cabbage, but he jumped up and ran after Peter, waving a rake and calling out, "Stop, thief!" That's what Mr. McGregor said to Peter. Peter was most dreadfully frightened. He rushed all over the garden, for had forgotten the way back to the gate. So Peter did not know how to get home. He lost one of his shoes among the cabbage and the other shoe amongst the potatoes. So this is the evidence. After losing them, he ran on the four legs and went faster, so that I think he might have got away altogether if he had not unfortunately run into a gooseberry net and got caught by the large button on his jacket.
But he got a booby trap.
Oh, it was a blue jacket, so Peter wear a
Blue jacket.
blue jacket with brass button quiet. No. Peter gave himself up for lost, and he shed big tears. But his sobs were overheard by some friendly sparrows. So these are the birds, the sparrow birds, who flew to him in great excitement and implored him to exert himself. So they are worried about Peter. MacGregor came up to with a save which he intended to pop upon top of Peter. Peter ran out just in time, leaving his jacket behind him. What is it?
And then he hid in a pot.
Oh, let's see what happened next. And rushed into the tool shed and jumped into a can. It would have been a beautiful thing to hide in if had not had so much water in it. Sit down. Stop roaming around. MacGregor was quite sure that Peter was somewhere in the tool. Perhaps hidden underneath a flower pot, he began to run them over carefully, looking under each, and presently Peter screeched. Mr. MacGregor was after him in no time. So, did MacGregor saw him? Oh, and tried to put his foot upon Peter, who jumped out of a window, upsetting 3 plants. The window was too small for MacGregor, and he was right to running after Peter. He went back to his work. So, Mr. MacGregor don't catch Peter. Peter sat down to rest. He was out, breath and trembling with fright, and he had not the least idea which way to go. Also, he was very dark with the sitting in that car. So, he was so tired. After a time, he began to wonder about going lippity-lippity, not very fast, and looking all around. He found a door in a wall, but it was locked and there was no room for a fat little rabbit to squeeze underneath. An old mouse was running in and out over the stone doorstep, carrying peas and beans to her family in the wood, and Peter asked her the way of the gate, but she had such a large pea in her mouth that he could not answer. So the mouth of the, what is that?
Pea.
Was full. The mouth of the mouse is
Mouse?
full of, yes,
That is
a mouse full of.
a mouth.
So Peter asked, and the mouse could not answer. She only shook her head at him, and Peter began to cry. Okay, we'll ask you a question.
Me first.
Who is the main character of the story?
Peter.
How about you, Dad?
Peter.
Peter.
Dad.
Where do the rabbit live?
In a cave, a tree. A cave or tree.
What kind of a tree? It's a
Oak tree.
what?
Oak tree.
It's a big
Tree.
tree. Who is the old man? How about you? Who is the old man?
That
It's Mr.
scratch.
Mark.
Not the
Mark. Gregor.
Gregor.
Oh, who are the siblings of Peter?
Fluffy, Fluff, and
Mopsy,
Mopsy.
And?
Those are the three.
Cotton,
Cotton buds.
Cotton Bud. It's called Flopsy, Mopsy, and
Cotton buds.
Cotton Tail. It's not a cotton bud.
And-
Okay. And why do Peter run away? Because he wants to
Run away.
eat. So even though the
No.
mother
No, because he is very
hard-headed. So what will be the lesson of our story?
don't be hard-headed.
Don't be hard-headed. So thank you very much, kid. Let's see you next time. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye.